Welcome back, Ramadan Kareem. So I'm not usually someone who likes to lead with their own story. I'm usually more interested in learning about other people's journeys, but I do think there's value in sharing this, especially if there's a young athlete out there trying to figure out how faith and sport can exist in the same space. Because when I was in high school, I didn't have that. I was fasting while playing competitive basketball, and I was essentially doing it alone. I had no teammates fasting, no coach who had worked with a Muslim athlete before, and a lot of questions I didn't yet have the language to answer. So my coach's first reaction when I told him was concern. He believed it was unsafe. At that time, the dominant sport nutrition message was that you needed, 6 small meals a day, and anything else might be harmful. So from his perspective, he was trying to protect me. But from mine, there was never a choice between my sport and my faith. My love for basketball was strong, but my commitment to God was stronger. So I decided to fast. And what's interesting is how much the conversation has shifted since then. We now have growing bodies of research showing that time-restricted eating and fasting, when done properly, does not automatically reduce performance. It can be maintained by trained athletes with the right preparation, hydration, strategies, and recovery protocols. Studies on Ramadan observing athletes have shown aerobic performance can be maintained, strength and power are largely unaffected, and metabolic adaptations may even improve energy efficiency. So as long as sleep, caloric intake, and hydration are managed properly, you should be fine. And that was the part I didn't know yet, because for me, it wasn't all smooth. I remember one tournament in particular, we played 3 games in one day. And after the second game, I was freezing. I was so incredibly dehydrated from playing the first 2 games that my body started shutting down. And at that time, I just I gotta push through, gotta grind it through, don't be soft. But my coach noticed and shut it down. And I just decided not to argue. I kept my fast, I sat out, and I have 0 regrets about that moment, because that was the moment I learned my limits. And more importantly, I learned that preparation is part of faith too. Waking up for suhoor, the morning eating before the sun comes up, eating enough, hydrating intentionally, recovering properly, adjusting output when needed. That wasn't weakness, that was knowledge, that was me learning. For me, fasting while still being recruited to play at the college level was one of the greatest accomplishments for me. Not because I had to prove anything to anyone, but because I proved to myself that I didn't have to separate the 2 of the most important parts of who I was. I didn't have to choose. And that's the message I want young Muslim athletes to hear. You are not behind. You're not at a disadvantage. You just need the tools, the preparation, and the support system that many of us didn't have growing up. Because fasting didn't make me less of an athlete. It made me more disciplined, more self-aware, more connected to my purpose. And that is something I carry with me far beyond the game.